Welcome back to the Burns. Give a very warm welcome to owner and craftsman Trevor Oakes of HRD Batting Company.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me on. How are things, man? Good. It's nice to meet you.
Think things are great, man. Things are awesome.
Yeah.
And he must have had some pretty crazy Canada wind today for that internet.
Oh, it's the last couple of days. It's just been super windy out here. It's just like there's just fields around me, so it's just always wind. But
Must have been that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. contract that's starting to rear its ugly head now.
yeah, maybe, maybe. Funny. That's
All
funny.
right, so can you give us a little background on your company, a little intro into the HRD Bat Company?
Yeah. Yeah, so again, 2017, I I started making bats because I broke two bats. I wasn't going to buy another bat, so I bought a hand lathe, and I thought, hey, I'll make my own. And they weren't great, but you learn, right? Um, so I started making my own. Then my teammates wanted them, my buddies wanted them, and then kind of word spreads, and I was like, hey, maybe this could be like a little side gig or something, right? It got to the point where like I had to like decide leaving a secure job that I liked and doing this, or leave this and do the job. Um, but I knew if I didn't choose the bats, I'd kick myself in the ass later on. So I pulled the trigger and I quit my job, my day to day job, and just started doing bats full time. And then in 2021, I met up with Nick Shales. I knew him before, but we're good buddies. And his background is he's a high level like men's fast pitch player. So he played for the national team for Australia. He's from Australia actually, and yeah, like he plays very very high level, very very competitive ball, and he's probably one of the best swings I've ever seen. So anyway, yeah, him and I linked up, and we were like, oh, let's start this HRD back. So we did, and right from the get go, we were like, let's do it right. We'll make sure that these players are getting exactly what they want, the performance and quality. Um, so we only buy like pro grade wood. We don't buy. There's like 5 different levels you can buy. We only buy like the highest grade because we always believe that if we start with that and we keep it up, our reputation will take over. So right now we're starting to see that hook around. So it's pretty great. Things are going great. And everybody seems to be pretty happy with the bats. So yeah, that's where we're at now. So we're going to year 5. We've been pro approved since we started. So every year we do the approval for the MLB. We visit the clubhouses down there. This year was good. We made a lot of like we got our foot in the door in quite a few clubs, and with a bunch of our target's minor leaguers, so it's hard to convert those major leaguers. But yeah, so
Yeah.
we made quite a bit of moves this year. It was pretty great. So yeah, we're just now it's on to like leagues and summer collegiate leagues, and we sponsor a league up here, the IBL, the Intercounty Baseball League. Yeah, so we're gonna start moving on to them and getting those rolling, and the Dave Boucher and Sheldon Howell down there in the KCLB. So we've been working with them. This is our 4th year going in, so we're pretty happy with that. Last year I was lucky enough to visit Wichita, so it was pretty great for the summer showdown, I think it was. So yeah, it was fun.
Yep.
Finally got to meet Dave and Sheldon face to face. We always just talked on the phone for 3 years, and then finally I got to meet them. So yeah, so yeah, we're going. I think we're in the right path. We're making moves.
It definitely sounds like you're making moves. Well, what gave you the motivation to start up HRD? I know you spoke about leaving your job and all that, but it's kind of it, it couldn't have just been because of a broken bat. You had to think of the logistics of it and all that.
Yeah, I it was a challenge. It was a big leap for sure. I just I love baseball. I love watching baseball. I don't have a favorite team or anything. I just love watching all baseball. So this kind of keeps me in the game a little bit more now that I'm too old to play it and stuff. I still do play like senior ball, but yeah, the motivation was just like seeing how far we could take this and go with it and be proud of that later on. Like I like when my kids see me working and like people just I think the kids kind of appreciate that stuff. So yeah, I think in the long run it'll all work out pretty great. So um, yeah, I think it was just like keeps me in the game. I love like working with my hands and stuff, so I love like just trying to do things myself instead of like getting somebody else to do it. But yeah, it was it was a big leap though. Like it was like it was pretty nerve wracking the day that I had to make that decision to like come over here because you don't know if it's gonna work out, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it's working out so far.
So, what is the hardest part of being a part of the baseball bat making community? Like, I'm sure it's pretty cutthroat.
Yeah, we kind of know each other. Like we see each other every winter meetings and stuff, and everybody's cool with each other. Um, the hard part is for us was like brand building, like brand awareness. Just because we're walking the major league clubhouses, nobody knows who we are. So it
Right.
took 5 years to get the ball rolling, and now that people are starting to see and kind of like hear what we're doing, they're paying more attention to us. So I think that was like the hardest part to get through. It was just brand awareness, really, but everything else is good. Like our shop's pretty set up. We got two CNC lathes, two motion cut lathes. So these things cut bats in about 3 minutes. It's pretty great. And then if it's something very specific, I'll cut it by hand. If a player wants something very specific, I'll cut it by hand. Then I'll measure it up, and draw it up for the CNC file, and then we just save it after their that's their model. But yeah, we got a big paint booth. We have a humidor for the wood. We just installed a batting cage, uh, just more for like bat fitting. So it's a full cage, 20 by 70. We have hit tracks. We have Rapsodo just for like analytics and stuff. So um, players can come in. We just kind of give them a rundown of like what models we have to offer. We do a little testing with the player, and then we dial in kind of like what's best for them or what we think we recommend, and then we'll just go cut a bat right then and there for them. So they kind of get to see like they test the bats, they test the models, we dial in kind of what works best for them with like all the analytics, and then we just like bring them over to cut the bat in front of them. So it's kind of cool for them. They everybody likes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah,
So, when are you going to be coming out with those torpedo bats?
we already have. We had to.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we've made quite a few already now. So yeah, it's we'll see what happens. I mean, guys are liking them, so you know, if they work, they work. So, but
yeah,
we have a couple different models of it too. So it's not just one torpedo bat. So we did like a bunch of different models. We took player models like guys that we have in the minor leagues. We ballooned them out for them, and yeah. So Mike Turner, who's with the White Sox, he's in Birmingham. We took his model and like made it a torpedo bat. So we're not sold on torpedo. We kind of like the name Scud Missile because I feel like they look kind of like a Scud Missile a little bit more. I don't know. We'll come up with something clever.
any way you can get some extra meat on that bat, that's what the Yankees did. So
That's
you
right.
can't hate them for doing it.
That's right.
All the teams have access to those bats now.
Yeah, that's sure do. Like, yeah, we'll make basically anything. Like whatever the player wants from barrel to handle, we'll dial the player in to exactly what they want.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I did see that you had a unicorn bat on one of your on your website.
Yeah.
That was who was that for?
Um, I think that was for somebody had ordered that, and yeah, like some of these bats get a little crazy with their designs, which I like. Like I like the challenge and stuff, and even our guys like Julian and Sean, like they'll try and like tinker with some artwork now and stuff. But yeah, I can't remember who that was for exactly, but it was an order, and then I had to make another one, like a second one, because they somebody saw that and they're like, oh, I want that too, so they ordered it as well. So it's kind of the way it goes anyway. But
Yeah, I don't think it's a skin or anything like that. This is just a custom paint job, right?
yeah. So I'll airbrush or like hand paint everything on there.
Man, that's crazy. So in February, Base Sports inked a partnership between the HRD Bat Company and Five Tool Baseball
Yeah,
to enhance youth baseball education and engagement.
right.
Would you like to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So we're just starting to kick things off now. They're doing their player our games of the week in Arizona, Texas, and California. So uh, that's kind of the segue into us visiting their sites to be on site to educate like players, parents, coaches, whoever, because like we believe that we kind of it boiled down to like these kids are 13, 14. If we give them the tool that they need now, are they going to be better by draft age? Like if there was two of the same player and you gave one the tool that he needs or she needs, and then you had the other player just going on with what they're doing now, is one going to be better? So yeah, we're just kind of educate what they're looking for in a bat, what fits, and and possibly like start breaking down like analytics for the players and stuff like that. So it's we're super excited. We can't wait to like get on site and do some work with them. And yeah, Five Tools, great guys. Base management, great people. Like everybody's super great, fun to work with, and yeah, they know their stuff big time.
That's good to hear. I always like to hear about youth baseball growing, and I think it's a great partnership between you guys and Base Sports and Five Tool Baseball. It's just is you love to hear about stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, what can you tell us about what goes on in making of a bat? Because not a lot of us work in the baseball bat working industry, you know.
Well, when I first started, I was just me and a hand lathe, and it was probably about an hour and a half per bat. And then, I did thousands of them by hand. And then before I even got a CNC machine, I was making all these by hand. So you get kind of good at it, of course, like anything. So I had it down to about 15 minutes a bat. But it's all in like how your eye works with your hand, big time when you're turning it by hand. Um, and then if the player wants a different model, barrel change, handle change, like you have to kind of see it what they're saying to you, right? Like when you're making it by hand. Now it's mostly drawings. I just laser them up, draw them up, and then they just get into the CNC machine. But yeah, there's a lot of science behind it for sure. I just thought you could turn a piece of wood and just here you go, here's a bat. But there's so much science, like
Yeah,
the grades, the the cellular structure of each wood species, what works, what doesn't, density. Like there's so much science to it, but it's kind of fun too. Like it's I learned a lot over the last 7 years or so, like a lot. I thought there was way more than I thought there would be to it, but yeah. Yeah, then you got to dabble into clear coats. What's best finish? How can you keep the bat protected without it like being too hard or too soft? So we had some stuff made for us, and it's I think it's a perfect balance of like hard enough to protect the bat, but it's also able, like, it gives the bat some elastic movement so the bat can move on contact and then come back to home. Okay. So I think we nailed our clear coat system. So it's good.
So HRD is known for creating a pop in your bats. For us people that don't know anything about the process that goes into that, can you divulge any information?
Yeah, I think just supplying players with the best wood we can get, and our finish, like, clear coat system. Those two together are what, like, makes us stand out. We've done wait, well, not well, I mean, we've done it too. We've done exit velo testing on our bats against other competitors. We've had players, that, like, when we visit the clubhouse and stuff, we've had them test it against. Well, I'll put these bats up against any bat, and I don't think we've ever lost an exit velo, like, test, our competition, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I don't like. We're always 2 or 3 miles faster, always. So I think it's just a good balance of good hard wood and nice straight grains, and that clear coat system that we're using is
If there are any of you out there that are wondering what I'm talking about when it comes to a pop, here are some examples.
That's the one I was waiting for. It's over.
That right there is one heck of a pop.
Yeah, it sounds good too.
Man, and then you have this one right here. Oh. And yeah, that's the pop that you want. It's kind of like when you're swinging one of those aluminum bats,
Yeah,
say Mizuno or something like that. Whoever you want, Easton, any of those bats, you want to hear the ding. Well, when it comes to woodbacks, you want to hear the pop, and these are just some really good bats. You can tell how good a wood bat is, and the maker who makes these bats by how loud the pop is.
that's right. Yeah, loudness, and yeah, you can tell right away, like, blink, and you can. I don't even have to see it. You just know. You can hear it, and you go, "Oh, that ball's gone." So that's
Yeah,
it
like
happened
that first video.
last year. I think there was an all-star showdown with the IBL here in Welland, and um, I wasn't looking, but I heard the bat and I knew right away that ball is so far gone. So it was pretty good. Makes you feel good.
So, what players? Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
It just makes us feel good at the shop when players succeed, like, do, you know good things with the tools you provide them with, I guess. But
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, what players and/or teams use your bats? Like talking about professional, minor league teams, even going down to little league teams. Which teams use your bats?
well, the minor league side of it, we got Toronto Blue Jays. We're pretty tight with the New York Yankees, St. Louis Cardinals. Um, who else do we get? Chicago Cubs we're in tight with, and then it's just like sporadic players all over. And then we sponsor two or we I think we're in talks with our third collegiate league. So we're getting the whole league, just like in the KCLB. Um, you're getting 6 or 8 teams that all know who you are now. And then the base management thing, that's a big one, because that's in front of like a million players, a million youth players that we're going to be, like,
Oh, wow.
being able to, like, talk to them and converse with them, whether it's webinar or whatever. I'm sure I'll meet a lot of them, but yeah, just stuff like that. So it's yeah, there's quite a few, and then, like, out in BC, these bats are talking a lot now. We have a few teams out there that we sponsor, and then, yeah, I don't know. There's just, like, there's a lot. Like, we're just kind of, like, strategically getting them all over. I think our next move is going to be Australia. I think we're going to crack that market pretty soon. We have a lot of bats in the ABL over there, and I think it was the number one hitter and number one home run, or the average in home run was using HRD. Jared Dale.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a good. I think that's a good market over there because these guys, they're not getting good stuff over there. They need it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You obviously want to get as many bats into as many hands as possible, and more extensively into MLB hands as well. So how do you go about doing that?
You just kind of show up and yeah. I don't ever try and sell bats. I like to kind of like build a relationship before I do anything. But we when we go to spring training, we'll just kind of set up. They know we're coming. Obviously, it's meeting. We'll set up our table with our bats, and we just kind of let the players come to us. And when they come over, we'll just say, feel free to try whatever we want, and then explain to them what we do and how we do things, and how, like, if you like this model, we can alter it to fit you perfectly. And then just maybe hand out a couple samples here and there, and hope that they love it. Like I said, this year was great. We had a lot of like good feedback from players and a lot of orders from them, so it was pretty good. But yeah, it's basically setting up, and you don't push too hard, but kind of become buddies with them, and then if they swing them, they swing them. If not, I get it. I respect the
Yeah,
player that doesn't want to change their, it's baseball, so it's their case. But yeah, it's whatever they want. And we just kind of go with the motions. Sometimes you'll get an hour or two where you get nothing, just silence. You're just standing there, and then all of a sudden a rush will come in and just player. So it depends on the way they're working out and stuff. So yeah, it all works out though. It's fun.
yeah. So do you have to? Are there any rules that you have to abide by when contacting a player, or like if you're at a ballpark and you're seeing batting practice and you want to hand a bat to, say, you know Guerrero Jr.?
Yeah, well, like we have to ask for like basically permission and get BP passes if we want to do that. It's something we haven't done yet. With this year, we will. We plan to visit a lot more of the affiliations, so we'll be in Buffalo for Toronto and New Hampshire, New York Yankees. We're going to visit like Scranton and all that. But yeah, you have to like the. I mean, the MLB doesn't really give you much. They like to. They I don't know. They just keep their regulations, so we have to, obviously ask for permission to come, and then hope that they give us BP passes and we can access the players. It's something that comes with the approval, is like we're able to access the clubhouses and stuff like that. So it's never a problem, but you do have to ask.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine just walking up to a random player and be like, "Hey, swing my bat," especially with the top of the line bats, or so those companies would like to make you believe. Those bats, I know Guerrero. He's been using the same bat for a couple of years, so
Yeah.
maybe that type of change wouldn't. He wouldn't be into something like that. You never know what's going through their minds.
No, they don't. Yeah, those guys don't like to. They don't change. I respect it. I was talking to Anthony Rendon once, and I just said, "Hey, man, like, if I copy your model, can I send you some bats?" He's like, "Nah, man." And that's when he was like, hot playing, and I guess
No.
playing. But he's like, he said, like, legitly said, "I hit 40 home runs last year. I'm not gonna change anything." And I'm like, "Yeah, I get it, man. That's cool. I respect it. That's good."
Yeah.
So that's why we target the minor.
Superstitions in baseball, so
Yeah,
I can understand that.
yeah. But
So
yeah.
when are we going to see an HRD bat with Vlad Guerrero Jr.?
Ooh.
I had to ask the question, man.
Uh, I don't know. Hey, maybe soon, one day. I don't know. We we supplied the Vancouver Canadians their single A team with bats this year. Um, uh, we're all over kind of with Buffalo Buys as a triple A, double A, single A. So you never know. I don't know. Might just take a visit, and maybe give it a shot. Maybe he'll love it. That's all. That's all. All it would take is one little. I love this thing. Yeah, we can almost
Yeah.
guarantee that. Yeah,
All
everybody.
it takes is one player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Vlad Jr., what did you think of that 14-year, $500 million contract? It isn't ridiculous by MLB standards, but he'll be 40 when the contract is over. Like, wow.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he's still playing. I don't know. People up here love it. Canadian, like they love it. Um, yeah, I think it's good for Toronto. I think they had to do it. Uh, I think he's their guy. Like I think he'll always be their guy for a while now. So I think it's very good for the team. I think it's good for everybody. Loves Vladdy. Everybody does.
Yeah, I just think he's a little bit too thick to be getting that type of contract, but that's just me.
Yeah,
But hey, he's got a good bat on him, so I can't hate on it.
yeah. He does have a good swing. So we'll see what happens.
So does HRD only make baseball hats, or are you into other things as well?
We just got batting gloves, some new like long cup batting gloves. We do some merch like shirts and hoodies and hats. Obviously, the hat on now. I think we're gonna start. We do training bats, any kind of training bats. But I think we're gonna start getting into like some guarding, like hard guards. Get it?
Okay.
Hard guards. HRD,
Yeah.
GRD.
So how much are your bats? Are they customizable? And by customizable, like we talked about the unicorn bat, but like, do you charge a certain amount if the customization is like a little bit out of this world?
Yeah, just it's time more than anything, right? So our bats are 169 and 179 Canadian, which is like, pretty good for you guys. But when it's like custom like that, yeah, we'll charge. We usually charge like $200 just because we'll tack on like $20 just because it's more time. It's more dry time. It's more like, you know, sitting there with an airbrush. So it's yeah, we usually tack on $20 or $30, but you're still getting a piece of wood that's you're not going to get any better, and a custom bat to what you want for less than most other companies. So yeah, I think we're doing okay.
Yeah. So what sets you apart from all of the other bat companies out there?
I think our ability to customize bats like models for players, and I think our durability, our breakage is very very low, and our quality and performance is it's like I I know it's our company and stuff, but like it's probably the best out there. I would say like they're very very good. So yeah, I think the three things, just like quality, performance, and durability, is what makes us stand out a little further, and our ability to like customize as well. I'll put anything, any handle, any knob, anything together. Just build a bat for whoever. So that's kind of a cool thing that we do as well. Is like it doesn't matter if you're 8 years old or you're hitting number 4 spot in the big leagues. Everybody's getting the same. They get the same treatment. They get the same product. Everybody gets the same wood. So we've made like 26-inch pro MLB grade wood bats for kids that they're 8. They're not hitting stingers or anything, but yeah, Like,
So it's not these cheap bats that from Walmart, right?
right. Well, that's the thing. You can go buy 4 or 5 of those, or you can just buy one of ours.
Right.
Yeah.
Because more than likely the ones that you buy cheaper, I always go by. You get what you pay for.
That's
If
right.
you pay for something cheap and it's something that you want to last, like a lawnmower, then it's gonna break down consistently.
That's
So
right. That's right.
if if it's $150 bat, well, hey, it's an investment.
That's right.
So,
And
but I obviously do not work in the baseball bat making industry. Well, not obviously, but now I don't.
okay.
So, can you talk about if there are any type of innovations on the rise that would set your company apart from all
Um,
of the competitors? And do you have to pay attention to like um, certain machines that are out there, for example, like that are becoming more innovative in the business and setting you apart from other competitors?
yeah, like we've got some stuff in the works that I think is going to be a game changer for us and like the level of baseball for youth and collegiate players, even some pros. Um, I think it's going to be really good. I can't wait to like get that undergo and be able to say what we're doing. But as for like, uh, we're working on different like styles of handles and stuff right now. Um, because there's like the axe handle and stuff like that. So we're kind of like coming up with our own things, which is pretty fun because you don't know if it's going to work or not. I like a good like
Yeah.
R&D session. So uh, yeah, that machines. I mean, there's CNC lathes. There's 4-axis lathes that can cut the axe handle and stuff like that. Uh, I don't really pay attention to anybody else's like methods. I think everybody kind of does what they would think is best. Um, but yeah, yeah, we bat makers. We've talked. We kind of have an agreement, and it was best said by one of them. He said, "There's 34 of us that are pro approved. If we're on a plane and 30 it crashes at 33 dot, are you making all the bats? Nah, you can't. So basically, we don't step on each other's toes. We just do our thing.
Yeah. So, what does the future of the company look like?
We're here to take over. No, I think our big thing is going to be like the education on bats and stuff for like youth players and stuff like that. I think that's going to be a huge movement for us. Um, and then yeah, we're just going to keep going and hopefully just be known as one of the best bat makers out there.
It's one heck of a goal. And I don't see this business slowing down at all. But I do have to ask, you are involved, like you said earlier, in the KCBL, the Kansas Collegiate League Baseball. So what exactly does that entail?
Well, we supply them with bats. Each team, there's 6 teams. We color them up the way they want, and then yeah, we just kind of give them a good deal on bats, player wise, like player orders, custom orders, and stuff like that. And then yeah, last year was my first time visiting, but I'm hoping to get there again this year and just be able to like mingle with the players, show face. I like doing that stuff. I like building relationships with people and just kind of like like whether they buy a bat or not, I don't care. I just want to know. Just want to know that they're good dudes and I'm a good dude. We get along, and so yeah, that's basically it. We give them a package deal, and then we give them the players a deal, and they in turn get a good deal on a good bat. So it works out perfect.
Well, if you do come down to Wichita, just we got to link up
Yeah,
because
for sure.
I'll be out at the KCLB as well. I'm
Okay, yeah,
gonna be their media guy.
absolutely.
If you can't figure that out yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's perfect. Yeah,
So
great. Yeah.
I got I gotta ask, man, what was the first bat you ever made? And was it gold?
No, Give me 2 seconds. I'll show you. So this is a pretty cool story. So the very first bat I made was a mini bat for my buddy who had a baby boy. So I made him just like this little, 18-inch bat. But this one here, I went to a lumber yard and they didn't have any wood for me. All they had there, he's like, well, I got this piece of ash on the ground full of oil. It was like a wheel chalk. So I bought it for $5. And then this is the bat. It's my very, very first bat.
Huh.
But if you see right here, there's like a massive knot right there, right where you don't want it to be.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's a club.
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy. But I was pretty proud of that. Like, this is the very first one I ever made. And that's it. It's not gold.
So
Flame tempered piece of ash. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Almost took my fingertip off on that.
So did you make that with the lathe, or did you do that by hand?
By hand. Yeah. So I didn't start making bats on a CNC lathe until 2020, the end of 2021. So I did 4 years of just hand bat. A lot. It's a lot on the old back, But yeah. But it was also good because it was like a personal touch. When these guys ordered bats, like they would, I like if I see them succeed with it, I'd be like, good, like it worked, and there's like the little connection there. Like this dude just, I've been been stabbed with like wood chunks. The lathe almost took my fingertip off. It's a battle, but I think
that's fun.
yeah, it was that lathe, it was a scary lathe. My first one was scary. I think I paid $200 for it, and it was scary because if you moved it, if you just like bumped it a little bit, it would fire up. So that's how old Pinky almost went bye bye. Good thing it did though. But.
See, I used to run a lathe myself, and yeah, I've heard some horror stories of people losing limbs. It's nasty. You got to be careful around those things.
Yeah, they're a pretty gnarly machine for sure. I've seen tools go flying.
Yeah. So what do you think? Oh. So what do you think of the Kansas Collegiate League baseball and what they're doing? Because they've been in business. I use that word loosely. This is a nonprofit. Yeah. But they've been in business for a short amount of time, just like you, and they're starting to rise, among the ranks. That they're now the largest collegiate baseball. Well, Summer Showdown is the largest collegiate baseball tournament, and then you have the Kansas Collegiate League baseball, and they're starting to run things, here in Wichita. So what do you think about Kansas Collegiate League baseball?
I think they're doing the right thing. I think those boys they've got their stuff together for sure. When I got to finally meet them, like I would pay attention the first couple of years, but when I got to go down there and finally meet them, so I went down there twice last year. I went down to, it was the All-Star game. Yeah. So I visited the players, what players were there anyway for the All-Star game. And, I got to meet Dave and Sheldon and a bunch of players, a bunch of the coaches. It was pretty great. And they were kind of explaining to me where they're heading. And I'm like, dude, that is amazing. So I think they're on the right path to, who knows, be an affiliation sometime or whatever, right? So I think the boys know what they're doing, and they're doing really good stuff. And there's a lot of good ball players there too, like really good ball players. So there's the talent. I was just like, holy, like everybody here is good. So it was good baseball. It was fun to watch. And then when I went down for the Summer Showdown, that was really good because there were so many ball players and so many teams, and everybody was good. Like every team, there wasn't a weak team really. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you go to tournaments, you're like, there's that one or two weak teams. Like it seemed like everybody had a strong team, and I think I think that's on Dave and Sheldon. Like, who I'm not sure which one sets that. I think Dave does, but to find those things, to find that talent, those teams, to not bring in somebody that's kind of weaker is get mollywopped all over. But yeah, I think they're doing great. I think they're going to do great things, and I think it's going to go pretty far.
So we do have a question here. It's a very interesting question, actually, from ICT Sports. What was your most expensive bat?
$200 Canadian. Yeah, that's not true. Maybe $250 Canadian. I think we sold. Which one was it? I want to say maybe a birch. I made a bat look like a white birch tree. You know, the white paper trees with the black dots all over. Oh,
Yeah.
that one took some time, man. But I think it was like $250 Canadian. Like all our custom bats are roughly 180 to 200 Canadian, which is like $40 for you guys, I think. um, but yeah, and then that like we don't limit design. We whatever model, whatever you want in the model, you want a flared knob on this certain bat barrel model. That's we include everything. So yeah, I would say I think it was like around $250.
So on top of Kansas Collegiate Baseball, you have the Summer Showdown. You got Summer Showdown 2025 coming up here next couple of months.
Yeah.
And you're involved with the Chick-fil-A Home Run Derby. As we saw with the pictures in the intro from last year's Home Run Derby, what is that like being involved in the Home Run Derby, customizing bats and all that stuff, man?
No, it was pretty good. It felt good to be there finally because we've been doing it for 3 years. It was good to be like I was on the field with the Chick-fil-A guys, just hanging out, watching these guys hit the ball super far. And I wish I could do that, but yeah, it was great because there's not a lot of people that get to do that on a bat. I think I might be the only one in North America that is allowed to do that on a bat, right from like corporate from Chick-fil-A. So yeah, it was cool. Like just to see your bats, perform. And it's not taking anything away from the players, of course, but it's just it was fun to be there for that and see the battles and like I think everybody kind of gets along there. So there was some like yipping and chopping them up. But yeah, it was fun. It was a great feeling to be there for that.
Yeah, with that 300-foot fence.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. Easy game.
You're going to have a lot of home runs.
No, there was a lot. It took a while. I was waiting for my Chick-fil-A for life card, though, but didn't happen.
I want that Chick-fil-A for life
year.
so bad.
Yeah, maybe this year. We have like 2 Chick-fil-A's in Canada. There's not too many.
Wow.
When you see one, you go.
I think yeah, it's like finding a pineapple in the ocean or something.
Yeah. There's not a lot.
So you customized your bats for the Home Run Derby. I saw those bats from last year, and they are just nasty looking. Yeah. Are there any surprises for this year's version?
I let them. They tell me what they want. I think this year's will be cool. I think they'll look cool, a little bit different. But yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it. I don't know. I'm allowed to, but they will be different from last year. That's for sure.
You just have to wait and see. Yeah. Everybody knows I'll be out there, so you want to see those bats?
Yeah.
I'll let you know what they look like.
Yeah. I'll be down
I'm sure
there.
I'll create a reel or something like that.
Sweating like crazy. I couldn't believe how hot it was down there. Nuts.
Don't remind me. I like cold weather. I would rather live in Antarctica. Okay.
Really? Oh man.
And not like the negative 200 degrees area. Obviously.
Just on the outside. Yeah. No, I'm looking forward.
So, what were your thoughts when you first? No. What were your thoughts when you first came on board to design these bats and get involved with the Summer Showdown Home Run Derby?
It felt special. It felt special when you get like you get a a contract from Chick-fil-A that I had to sign stating like, I'm able to use their logo and stuff, which is pretty cool. Like I felt like that was a milestone for me. Uh, but yeah, no, it felt good just to be part, I guess. And like I said, I've worked with these guys. This is their fourth year. They're wonderful dudes. The coaches are great. All the players I met were fantastic. So it's just fun to be part of that. When everything kind of clicks and works, it's pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be an amazing thing to know that a company as reputable as Chick-fil-A is just like, hey, we want you to make these bats
Yeah,
for this amount of years, and so
yeah,
that's just awesome. That right there is an amazing success story. Like you taking a big plunge into the Antarctic, the Indian Ocean or whatever, and not knowing what's underneath it, and quitting your job, just starting all of this, not knowing anything, how successful it was going to be, and you've done pretty dang good for yourself, if I say so myself.
thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. It was a very very hard decision to leave that because I liked my job. I worked at like Toyota Motor Manufacturing, so I was like kind of in the engineering side of things, and I loved it. But I felt like this. I don't know. I always had a good feeling. I always knew that if you work hard, it'll pay off. And that's what I tell my kids all the time. If you work hard, it'll pay off. So I want now it's like personal. Now I got to show them that. I got to back my words up. So no, it was really scary, but uh, if you want it, you go get it. You know what I mean? Like you'll always make money if you really need
Mm-hmm.
to or want to. Um, but yeah, it was just it's nice to be part of baseball and not have to play every day. Get sore, get hurt. Uh, yeah, it's a. I love my job. I love like what I do. I love the people I meet. I meet a lot of people, which is great, and everybody has their own story. So you kind of like trade stories, and you meet like I met you, through Dave, which
Yep.
would have never happened if I didn't know Dave or Sheldon, right? So yeah, I think it's a good gig. I got a good thing going, and Nick's kind of he works as well, like in his job, but he's going to start, partaking in more events with me and stuff like that because he's says he's retiring from fast pitch, but I don't think he's gonna. But he because he plays a lot, so his summers are tied up with his ball. So, but yeah, hopefully it'll be nice to like he's he came down to spring training with me and we have like myself, Carly, Nick, and then yeah, who knows? Wichita will probably be the whole gang. Who knows? I hope so. It'd be cool to get all of us down there. Yeah, there's a lot of travel this summer. I
Oh
got
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. There's a few trips I have to, and everywhere's hot, 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 super hot, summer, hot. Which I have to get climated to that.
Going to Phoenix anytime soon?
I there is one in Arizona, Texas, and California, and then Wichita, all in summer.
Man,
So yeah, it's gonna be good. It'll be all right.
yeah, that's rough. We got a couple more comments. I will show them on stream. I really don't want to, but I'm going to anyway. Hot Zone Sports needs a bat, and
Yeah,
then no, I won't send you money.
yeah. Come on, man.
That's horrible. Not
Yeah,
even
I'll make you a custom bat. I'll make you like you put your logo
that.
on it and stuff.
See, See, Dave, he gave us that bat right there, so I
Oh,
wanted to
yeah.
represent.
Yeah.
Thank you to my wife for hanging it up because
Yeah.
she's good with accessorizing and just figuring things out while I'm getting stuff ready for the podcast and stuff. So yeah, thank you, wifey, for doing that for me.
Tell her I said thank you
And
too.
but yeah, I definitely will. I think she's watching right now, so she's probably saying you're welcome.
Perfect.
But that is going to be it for today's show. Um, I just want you to stay on a little bit after here. I wanted to discuss something with you, but thank you for coming on to the live stream / podcast. You know, we had some technical difficulties, but we got it under control because
finally
this is
worked.
what we do at Hot Zone Sports. We get it under control.
That's right.
But it's great guest today, Trevor Oakes. You know, thank you for coming on the show. It's purely a treasure to have you come on here. We're doing great things at Hot Zone Sports. We're taking off. We're getting a lot more guests, and so the entertainment value is going to continue to stay high. So on Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, the NFL draft is going to kick off, and you already know. Yeah, that's right. We got the Colts. We got the Horseshoe Mob podcast. We're going to be live. So if you have not followed them or subscribed to them, go ahead and do so. And if you have not followed HRD Bat Company, go ahead and do so. They are on Twitter.
Yeah.
They are on Facebook. Are there any other social media sites that you're on, man?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X or whatever it is now. I think. Weird. I think so. Yeah. Instagram's where you're going to see most of the cool looking bats. I guess they filter through the other things.
Yeah, go ahead and follow him, show him that love, and go check out his website. It's pretty cool. They got the about page. They show some of their product out there. You got links to their Instagram. They got lots of good stuff, especially on their Twitter /X. I cannot say X just by itself. I can't.
I feel the
I'm
same.
sorry, Elon.
I feel the same. I feel like I can't say
It's just
X. It's weird.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week.
Thank you so much for having me, Ryan. That was great. That was fun. I'll see you in August.
Absolutely. Yes, you will. Peace out.